Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of RockN Reviews, and I am here with my favorite collaborator, Julien from Movieville.
I am Groot!
And we are here to review Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I am Groot.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Everybody's back. James Gunn is back as director. We have Chris Pratt, who is back as Peter Quill.
I am Groot.
Julien, you're really gonna be talking in Grooties for the entire review?
I am Groot!
You know I have to do subtitles for all these things, right? That's gonna take forever. I can't do that. We just talk normally now. Are you're really insulting the intelligence of our audience by doing that?
I am Groot.
Nobody understands Grooties!
Alright. Dang.
So everybody is back. James Gunn is back as director. Chris Pratt is back as Peter Quill.
We also have the lovely Zoe Saldana. She's back as Gamora, the most dangerous woman in the universe. We have Dave Bautista is back as Drax the Destroyer. We have Vin Diesel is back as Groot, even though now it's not Big Groot, it's Baby Groot. I am Groot.
And Bradley Cooper as Rocket. Don't call him a raccoon.
Don't call him a raccoon, don't
And
call him a
a trash panda either.
No.
Because he will trip off.
Don't call him vermin, nothing like that. He doesn't like those names.
This movie actually takes place just a few months after the first movie. It's not like years after. It's only a few months. They're now working as full-fledged Guardians. And they're doing a mission, and Rocket, in true Rocket fashion, managed to piss off an entire race, an entire planet called the Sovereigns, where apparently CeeLo got his outfit for the Grammys.
Yeah, or where C-3PO shops. One of the two.
Yes, one of the two.
Yeah.
So these guys now chasing the Guardians across the galaxy.
And hijinks ensue. We end up meeting Kurt Russell's character. And if you've seen the trailer, he says, I am your father. Not like that. But he says, hey, Pete, I'm your dad. And Pete is like, what?
So he decides to go along with him. The team splits up.
Yep.
But then things happen. They have to reunite to save the galaxy once again, to guard the galaxy, to become the Guardians of the Galaxy, and face a threat bigger than they've ever faced before. And we'll leave it right there.
Yes, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
This is a no spoiler review.
So here's what rocked and what sucked. So for me, what rocked? The visuals. Oh my god, this movie is gorgeous.
It is. It's a visual delight for the eyes.
Visually breathtaking. We get to visit so many locations, and each location is distinct and unique, and it pops with color. James Gunn knows how to give us a visually interesting movie. There's always something great to look at, and we get to visit a particular planet that is lush and vibrant, and we have all these different things going on in the planet.
What else rocked? The music, great soundtrack. I don't know. I would say that I kind of prefer the soundtrack
from the first one.
First one.
Right.
I mean, from the first one. Hey now. I was like, yeah. You know, down to the last one with the Michael Jackson. Oh, babe.
You know, it's Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah,
which,
Hooked on a Feeling.
Found a resurgence because of that movie.
Song. Even Cherry Bomb, when they had the walk, I mean, that was like, but I mean, the music is really good. There's Sam Cooke in it.
Yep.
Yeah, some nice little romance music going on there. So it's really catchy, fun music. It keeps the vibe going.
And what also rocked for me was the humor. This movie had me laughing the entire way through, from the beginning to the end. It was just funny, and I like how James Gunn makes the humor come from a very natural place. It's not forced humor. Everybody isn't trying to crack jokes. It comes from who they are as characters. So Rocket's humor comes from the fact that he's just a sarcastic guy who just doesn't care about anything.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags, but that isn't true at all.
Drax's humor comes from his own personality, where he just doesn't understand things.
Yes, no social skills whatsoever.
No social skills, no filter. He just says everything that comes on, just as it comes to his brain, it just comes out his mouth. And that's Drax. And Drax was actually, for me, the person who made me laugh the most in this movie.
What is he doing?
He said the skin is too thick to be pierced from the outside, so
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, some people didn't find it work, but I find it work for me. Like, I didn't have any complaints about Drax and his humor.
I think overall, and I'll keep going back to Volume. I love Volume 1. So I keep
I love
going back to
Volume 1
Volume
too.
1. I think it's an almost perfect movie. So I think the humor was probably like 99% hit in Volume 1. In this one, I would say it's probably 80.
So you find some of the humor was hit or miss?
Yeah. One thing I will say, some of the characters in Volume 1, which we got just a brief glance of, there's a whole lot more development.
Yep.
With them, you got to get into their backstory. But I guess not really spoilers to say that we see some more Nebula, who Karen Gillan from Doctor Who. I love Karen Gillan, and she got to do one of the things I wanted them to do in Volume 2 was give us more Nebula, get deeper into her, and we got that, and I loved it. It was great. It was great seeing her with Gamora, Zoe Saldana, their interaction. That was fun. We got some more Yondu as well too. I mean, Michael Rooker, he's like just the coolest.
Yeah, that's
and he got to be really, really cool in this movie.
Yeah.
So I had a time with that. And some of the other characters as well too. You know, it delved a little deeper into them.
One thing I found this movie did very well is exposition. Any exposition that needed to come out came naturally between the characters' relationships with each other. I remember one scene in particular with Drax, where Drax asked the questions that the audience would ask. Right? And I remember thinking, this is really smart. It's really smart how they did it. But then the last thing that rocked for me in this film was Baby Groot.
I am Groot.
And the thing about it is, we know that Groot is a marketing ploy, okay? We know Groot is in this movie to sell toys.
Shut your mouth.
Julien,
Shut your mouth.
Come on, Julien. We know this. He still works.
He does.
He's funny.
He does. He's cute.
He's there to look adorable. He's there for the awes, and you know, there's one bit with him that goes on a little too long, I found.
A little too. I was enjoying it up to a point. It's a little too long, but it's still funny.
But then everything else was great. Especially the ending. There's a scene with him in the ending that will make the entire audience go, oh, and make everybody want to buy Baby Groot toys. So let's get to the things that sucked.
Let's go, Saki.
Because all movies have things that suck about them. There are no perfect movies. And Guardians 2 definitely was not a perfect movie. It's not. Some characters are definitely developed more than others. Peter Quill kind of still feels a little underdeveloped.
He almost felt tacked on because, I mean, Gunn kind of spent so much time developing other characters and some side characters and stuff. It's just like, oh, look, Peter, go do this, go do that.
Remember, we have this story going on.
Don't forget Star-Lord, he's the main guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he was almost felt like at points like he was a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
He's a living MacGuffin.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyway, you spoke about them separating the characters and spending a little more time with them. And I found that's another thing that sucked about the movie. It at times felt very disjointed. Actually, at one point, I felt like I was watching two different movies. I felt like I was watching a Rocket spin-off, and I felt like I was watching a Star-Lord solo movie.
Slightly, but probably not as bad, but it slightly reminded me of Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Where
Julien, come on, no, man.
Wait, let me qualify it. I'll qualify it. If you recall, in the middle of Attack of the Clones, they pretty much stopped the movie to have the Anakin Padme romance. It's like, okay, movie, let's have nothing happen whatsoever. So there's a tiny iota of that. Where Gunn was like, okay, let's slow down this and stop this and have nothing going on here. So we can kind of do some develop and have like, okay, some fun stuff here, but nothing going on here. Fun stuff here, nothing going on here. Because we want to develop the characters. Where a better example with like an Empire, where they experience something, they're doing something, and the character development flows through that, which is what happened in Volume 1.
Well, we'll talk more about that in the spoilers.
Yeah.
I can't believe this man bring up Attack of the Clones in a Guardians 2 review.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Wayne. I'm here to shake things up, man. I'm here to get a fanboy's vex. That's what I'm here for. I'm the yang to your yin.
Don't take this out on me, okay?
I'm the shaggy to your scrappy
thing. Totally, 100% Julien. This wasn't in the script. It's totally off script. Another thing that sucked, Julien,
The Sovereign, visually, they looked cool. I
CeeLo
saw
from Grammys. Like, just think CeeLo from Grammys. And
if CeeLo from Grammys and C-3PO had babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a nice visual interest. I saw my boy Ben Browder from Farscape. All you Farscape fans,
that's
he had a nice little cameo.
Your Farscape peeps. I haven't seen Farscape.
Farscape. You haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
I hope I don't lose any sci-fi cred for that one.
You do sponsor. So yeah, and I guess the problem with the Sovereign is kind of the problem with some of the characters where the Sovereign don't get to do very much. They're supposed to be like, a villain and a threat, but it's almost like God was like, oh yeah, remember the Sovereign who we built up? Look, they're gonna come and do stuff and attack and be a threat, and we're just like,
And since early production, James Gunn was saying, for this movie, he wants to do a more personal story. Like, he wanted to do the opposite to what sequels usually do. He doesn't want to go big and blow and explosions and whatnot. He wants to do a personal story. And there is that. There is a personal story. I can't see it in the movie, but unfortunately, in the third act, the movie does become the very thing that James Gunn said he was trying to stay away from. It's just this huge action sequence and explosions and yada yada yada. I won't go into any details because I don't want to spoil anything, but it does feel a little bit bloated at the end of the movie. So yeah, that was Guardians of the Galaxy.
overall, definitely very entertaining, very visually entertaining, very funny. One of the funniest of the MCU. I'll put it up there with the original Guardians and like Ant-Man. Really good time. Nice seeing these characters again. But I mean, having so much love for Volume 1, my hopes were out to the roof for this one. And I wasn't...
It
didn't meet my expectations. But it wasn't, Attack of the Clones bad.
Yeah, it was.
It's a good movie. It's above average, but coming off of a near perfect movie, there's a bit of a drop. So
I've been saying this a lot with a lot of the movies that I've been watching recently, but I give this one a watch it. It's decent. It's not the best Marvel movie ever made. It's certainly not the worst. It's still good. It's a great Marvel movie. It's fantastic. I suggest that everybody check it out. I definitely go to the cinema and see this movie before it leaves. Go see it on the largest screen that you can find. That's all I will say. Go see it and I think the film will work in 3D as well. I think this film was made for 3D. Don't forget to do what on the like button.
I am Groot.
Don't forget to whine on that like button. And throw some waste on the share button too.
I am Groot.
Else I am Groot.
I am Groot.
And as always, we're not film critics. But we could definitely
rock a review.
See you at the cinema.